Adventure games fulfill our curious desires to explore worlds just to see what's out there. There's also a lot of variety in the gameplay adventure games offer, as I'm sure you'll see in my picks of the top 10 free adventure games on Itchio you don't know about. Juice Galaxy is an open world action RPG where you complete quests and gather loot and XP to grow stronger. It's a very odd looking game and has ragdoll style combat and movement, which makes fighting pretty hilarious. Whenever you kill enemies you can get juice, and you can suck up dead bodies of enemies you kill to get more. Enemies can also drop loot like weapons or armor that can be equipped with different stats. Juice points can be spent at fountains to permanently upgrade your stats. Juice is used in combat in the form of a juice meter which recharges over time just like your health. Some weapons require juice to be used, like your secondary weapon for example. The juice meter is also used when flying around, which is useful for getting around quickly. There's a few quests to complete and bosses to fight to give you something meaningful to accomplish.
Another tourist enters this land of pipes.
If you're looking for a surprisingly polished action RPG with a rewarding leveling system, then I recommend Juice Galaxy. Yokespire is a challenging 2D platformer where you compete in a game show to be the first competitor to scale a skyscraper. Each level has a distinct theme and adds in a new mechanic that will subsequently appear in future levels. Each obstacle brings a new challenge, and most are centered around timing, like these bouncing basketballs, swinging eyes, or moving platforms for example. The reason the game is so hard is because you have to always be on the move since there's water constantly rising, you die in one hit, and the distance between checkpoints is very long. Even though you'll die a lot, every death gives you that one more try feeling since the level design is so good and controls are tight. In between the main vertical levels, there are easier horizontal levels that have other contestants competing in the show. The art style reminded me of Part-Time UFO with its charmingly cartoony art style and the characters that have just as much personality. If you're looking for a challenging 2D platformer with a cute world, then I recommend Yokespire. Delta Gal is a third-person action-adventure game where you explore areas and fight enemies. You're armed with an upgradable arm cannon and unlock more abilities as you progress, allowing you to reach new areas. The combat is very fun because each enemy and boss is defeated in a unique way. The lock-on aiming and tight movement make combat frantically fast-paced. There's a lot of platforming sections to break up combat that utilize your abilities you unlock, like swinging between grapple points. You also have a sprint and dash to get around quickly and aid you in platforming and combat. Exploring levels is encouraged as you can find various modules to upgrade your arm cannon. The different enemy types and hazards in each area make levels feel distinct, and the efficient level design prevents you from ever getting lost. If you're looking for a Mega Man Legends inspired action adventure game with excellent movement and combat, then I recommend Delta Gal. Vine Realms is a first-person adventure game where you explore worlds and talk to a variety of funny characters. There are quite a few worlds to explore, all filled with unique reference-filled NPC characters you can talk to. Even though there's no dialogue, each character has unique mumble sounds that give them a sense of personality, along with their expressive character design. The goal is to collect different emotes and characters to play as in every world. The emotes and characters are purely for completion's sake, but it's fun to work towards so you have a reason to explore the beautifully themed worlds. Emotes and characters are collected by talking to characters, completing a platforming challenge, and finding them in the environment.
You're a fucking idiot.
In your inventory, you can see what emotes and characters you've already collected in which world and how many you still need. If you're looking for a gorgeous collectathon all about exploration, then I recommend Vine Realms. Shroom and Gloom is a roguelike dungeon crawling deck builder where you fight monsters to reach the end of the dungeon. Like any deck builder, you start out with a pretty bare bones deck and unlock a new card after every battle. What sets Shroom and Gloom apart is that you have two decks, one for combat and the other for after combat. The combat deck has all of your attacks and buffs that synergize well with your other cards, while the second deck is used for preparing for the next fight. It has cards that heal you, let you upgrade a card, or discard a card for example. Each deck has an energy system and each card costs a certain amount of energy, so you have to decide how to best use your energy in a given turn. Enemies have a wide range of moves that they telegraph to you, so you can plan around it before their next turn. If you're looking for a roguelike deck builder with a unique 2-deck system, then I recommend Shroom and Gloom. Hypnagogia is a PS1-style first-person adventure game where you explore dreamlike worlds in search of 8 dream crystals. The gameplay is centered around exploration and talking to the people and creatures in each world. Many of the worlds have you talk to someone who gives you a clue as to what they need, so you have to explore the world and figure out how to find it. Once you complete a task, a new path is opened up, allowing you to finish the level. There's light platforming mixed into each level to give you something to do besides walking. Each subsequent dream world gets more dark and disturbing. The first world is all cute and filled with monk cats, and by the time you get towards the end, you're dealing with sleep paralysis demons and creepy environments. If you're looking for a surreal dreamlike exploration game with well-written characters, then I recommend Hypnagogia. Iketsuki is an atmospheric platformer game where you discover who and what is in this mysterious dying world. You don't know why you're on the planet, only that you're tasked with collecting starseeds around the world. In order to get starseeds, you'll have to complete platforming challenges. Starseeds can be used at this shrine to spawn in moonfish, albeit frustratingly slow, which this creature with just one arm wants to eat. You change the fish's color with starseeds to satisfy his requests until he gives you the ability to jump multiple times, allowing you to collect the rest of the starseeds. The platforming challenges are well designed, although fairly easy, and are complemented by the desire to figure out the mysteries of the world. If you're looking for a mysterious platformer, then I recommend Iketsuki. My Dog Hogan is a comedic sandbox game where you play as the developer's deceased dog, completing tasks. It's definitely got that janky goat simulator vibe going for it, with the people in the world feeling stiff and lifeless.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
The only controls are move and bark, which is used to interact with things in the environment. There's also a terrifying ragdoll button that's there for no reason other than to disturb you. The goal of the game is to explore the city, completing objectives on your task list. These often have funny results, such as ruining a kid's birthday party or making a guy fall from a ladder. They're all easy to accomplish, but it's more about figuring out where everything is and seeing the results of your chaos. If you're looking for a funny sandbox-style adventure game, then I recommend My Dog Hogan. Sprucerio is a game about getting home with a Christmas tree on your sled, but supernatural things start to occur. As you're walking through the frozen tundra while pulling your sled, you'll have to drink hot tea to keep yourself warm whenever you get too cold. Once you get the tree, you start heading back to your house, only to be thrown off course by weird occurrences and a blizzard sending you into a cave. The cave is full of odd things like trinkets you have to gather in order to open up a new area, and strange creatures that seemingly torment you throughout your journey. If you're looking for a surreal horror game that will have you unsettled the entire time, then I recommend Sprucerio. Uncle Panko's Terrible Little Farm is a first-person game where you help your uncle out while he's away from his farm, but not everything is as it seems. Upon arrival, you're given instructions left by your uncle written on various notes. Every day the notes change, giving you different tasks to accomplish. The instructions seem oddly specific at times, but it's for a reason. You have to follow the instructions exactly because the farm is haunted by mysterious black creatures that will torment you otherwise. Depending on how well you follow the instructions, you'll get one of the game's multiple endings. If you're looking for a cute game that's deceptively scary, then I recommend Uncle Panko's Terrible Little Farm. Those were the top 10 free adventure games on Itchio you didn't know about. I'll have my playlist of free Itchio games you don't know about linked in the description, as well as my videos about free adventure games on Steam. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with this ongoing series.